Ladies and gentlemen, in this video you are about to witness the creation of the world's first six-seater Maserati MPV. No, I'm not going to do it with a Levante or even a four-door Quattroporte. I'm going to be turning this Maserati Granturismo S into a six-seater. Now, no doubt some of you will be thinking, how can that physically be possible? How can that be legal? And why would you even want to?
Well, for the last 2.5 years, I have been on a quest to review every exciting car, but from a parent's perspective, because becoming a parent shouldn't mean the end of your petrolhead passion. In fact, with my previous dad car, I was able to get 3 in the back and 1 on the front passenger side of a Maserati Grand Sport, making every journey ridiculous fun and memorable. But my dream is to be able to make memories as a family of 6 with my wife as well. Is it really possible to make my dream a reality and get 4 child seats in the back of this Super GT? Well, there's only one way to find out. My name's Ben and welcome to Dadcars.
Welcome back to the channel, everyone. Right, so those who have not yet clicked the subscribe button, if this video doesn't trigger you to take the 2 seconds to click the subscribe button, I guess you and I are just cut from a different cloth. But in this video, we are going to be revealing this 4 across matching leather blue contrast stitching child seat that's going in the back that I've not seen myself yet. We're then going to be seeing if it fits and how this is even legal. If it does fit, I'm then going to get all 4 of my children in the back of this car, my wife on the passenger side, and we're going to go and take it out for a drive. But before we see the seat, I want to have a go at removing these rear cup holders in the back to give us as much space as possible to make this more comfortable for my children. So to help me with the first part of this project, I've got the help of Stephen King, not to be confused with the king of horror,
No.
But you are the king of carbon fibre, aren't you? You've done some of the work for some of the panels on a Aston Martin Valkyrie as well, is that?
Yep, I've done all the kind of panels, especially the interior.
Today we're working with primarily plastic and vinyl, so it's the equivalent of me enlisting the help of a Michelin star chef to do the catering for like my 2-year-old's 3rd birthday. However, you saw my video, didn't you, where you
Yes.
saw that I was going to take a multi-tool to that centre console, and you said, look, I'm not too far away from you, Ben. Love your channel, why don't you come over and I'll give you some help.
I purchased another centre console from eBay so we could cut and modify this for my purpose, and also I could return it to standard in the future if I need to. But in order to fit this one, we need to take out the entire centre console assembly.
Right, so Stephen, we've done it, haven't we? Well,
Yep.
I say you did most of it. Thank you so much.
That's
Thank
all
you.
right.
Honestly, that would have taken me so much longer to do by myself. So everyone can visualise exactly what we've done here. So effectively, this is roughly what the arrangement was. So this trim used to come along to here, didn't it?
Yeah.
So which reduced like the overall height for this seat going to be putting in here, and also reducing leg room if I've got a child sat here in the middle. But effectively, what we've been able to do is remove these cup holders, and we're going to be able to take this out, reduce the height down, and remove this whole section here. So we're going to have something obviously that goes down and protects that whole sort of wiring harness there.
And a spare floor mat, which I had in my boot, fit this space perfectly. So by losing these 2 cup holders, I have created a lot more legroom. And you join me now a few days later when Multimac arrived to reveal this magical 4 across seat.
Minty, welcome back to the Dadcars channel. Thanks for coming down, Kevin. Lovely to see you again. I am so excited because I've genuinely not seen this seat yet. So this seat's been customised in matching leather with blue contrast stitching to match the Daddarati, and it's just behind this door, is it?
Yes.
Okay. Yes. I mean, yeah. Let's see it.
The moment of truth.
Oh wow!
It's good, doesn't
Oh
it?
my goodness, that is incredible! Wow.
Blue stitching's pretty bang on as well, which is
That is so cool. Now we have measured previously and it should fit in the back, shouldn't it?
Should fit, yeah.
It should. But we don't know until we try, do we? That's right, yeah. So I think what we need to do that now, don't we? Actually see if we can get it in the back. And then after that, I will answer loads of questions that I'm sure people will have about this seat. You know, how much are they? And, you know, is it legal? And how does it work with insurance? All that sort of stuff. But first off, let's try and get it in, shall we? Minty, what's it like working with your dad?
It's great. I've been working with him for 13 years now, so it's kind of all I've ever known really, but so many people are like, God, I couldn't work with one of my parents. I could never work with my dad. But I feel like since I was a little girl, I was always doing stuff like this, passing tools to him and wanted to see what he was up to, because he was always doing jobs around the house and stuff. Yeah. And I was always there wanting to help and get involved.
Well, I love obviously doing what I do now, because I get to work with my children, which is lovely, but it'd be nice when they grow up. You know, I hope a couple of them are, because you're a massive petrol head, aren't you?
Yeah.
So yeah,
they're bound to be.
Yeah, I
at least
hope,
a couple of
at least a couple of the four,
yeah.
right?
Right over. Nearly there. A bit more. It really fits. Wow.
Oh my gosh, it's in.
That's incredible.
Wow.
Oh my God, I can't believe it. It's in. It looks absolutely epic. The match is incredible. And so the final thing to do is get all four of my children in here and go for a test drive and see what it's like. But before we do that, I think it's worth us speaking to Kevin and answering some of the most common questions that I get about the Multimac. Kevin, we did it.
Indeed.
We did it. I got, thank you so much, honestly. If it wasn't for you making this seat, I would not be able to have, you know, car of my dreams to use with my children to make memories. So thank you so much for that. And I mean, it just looks so great in there. The match is honestly even
perfect,
better than
yes.
I was expecting. It's
Yes.
amazing. You can see it on that side trim in there, because it's not all actually leather in here, there's a lot of vinyl. But there's going to be a few questions, I think, that people have got. How much does a 4-cross seat cost?
The basic seat's £2,200, but
Yeah.
then you buy accessories to suit the ages of your children. So with headrests like that, full headrests, and without a rear-facing Minimac, the price is probably about £2,600. And if you had a Minimac, because you've got a baby, it's about £3,000.
I hear from people when I post stuff about the Multimac, oh, it's really expensive. Oh, I'd buy one, but it's really expensive. And I mean, for me, I've got several child seats upstairs, modern ones, which cost in excess of £500 each. You know, so the thing is, you've got to remember there's 4 of them, so you can divide that amount by 4. But also, you can use this from birth with a Minimac right up until 12.
12 and beyond, indeed,
Yeah.
indeed. So, in fact, Bright Axe research shows that parents buy on average 2.8 seats per child. So if you've got a £500 seat times 2.8, quick maths, that's 1,400 quid, times 4 children, that's 4,200.
Yeah.
If you would have passed me down, whatever. So that's huge, but the biggest saving really is you can keep your car. And you can have the car you want.
Yes.
Because the typical way, you've got 2 kids, then you have a 3rd child, can't get 3 child seats in your car, so you chop your car in and buy another one. You've immediately lost thousands of pounds on depreciation. It makes the cost of that inconsequential, really.
Absolutely. You go into the dealer, trade in your car, they wipe off like 3 or 4 grand off of the value and Part X on your car, like before you've even actually moved into the next one. So yeah, and if somebody wanted theirs to be matching leather trimmed as well, and what's the additional cost
we
for
got
that?
it's £800, but given £800, because it has to be hand finished, you can have whatever you like. So
Yeah.
for example, you chose that cross stitching,
Yeah.
which was no additional cost, and you also asked for the twin stitching and the blue thread, and we did that, no extra cost. It's all in the £800.
Personally, for me, I think that's like fantastic. You know,
It makes
800
it, doesn't it?
And
Yeah.
look, car enthusiasts as well, like me, you know, we don't really quibble too much about spending £800 on modifying our car in some way to our preference. So yeah, for me, I think it's just sensational. Yeah, the other question that always comes up as well, you know, even I've explained it in previous videos, is how is that legal? Because, you know, this car, or, you know, any car, say it's 4-seater, a 5-seater, if you put a Multimac in it, you can then carry 6 people in it. So how is that legal?
Well, the simple maths is, if you had 3 adults in the back seat, that's 240 kilograms. If you have 4 12-year-olds, that's 144 kilograms. So
Yes.
it's far less than adults anyway.
Yeah.
So that's the maths of it all to make you feel happy. But this development through to final approval to the European standard cost us £750,000 in 13 years. So you don't do that sort of thing and then at the end say, oh, is it legal?
Yeah,
So
yeah.
at an intermediate stage, we had a meeting with the DVLA who said it's not a problem at all in terms of what's written in your logbook. If you change it fundamentally, then you've got to change your logbook. But that Multimac could be taken out in 5 minutes.
Yes.
And your car is then back to as it was. So they're not interested in anything because it's purely temporary. And secondly, we spoke with the Institute of Insurers
Yes.
at the ABI and said, look, we're thinking of making this, blah, blah, what do you think? So they took some time and deliberated and saw the crash test things and came back and said, yeah, this is fine. It's the safest way of carrying lots of children. We'd far rather they did this than cram them in. And you can safely say that this will be covered by your insurers at no additional cost. So
Yeah.
both bases are covered.
Yeah, no, fantastic. Me personally, because I mean, I bought our first Multimac over 2.5 years ago now, before we even met.
Indeed.
It's perfect for us. It solved the lack of boot in our 7-seat X5. We find it a lot easier getting the children in all in the same row as opposed to trying to get to them in the third row. But all I did is I just notified my insurance company and they said, thank you for letting us know. Just keep your invoice in case if in the future you need to make a claim, and you also need to make a claim for the seat as well. So that's been my experience, and that's been with multiple insurers as well.
Sure. Well, in fact, every year we'll get 2 or 3 people phone us up and say, my car's been stolen or I've had a crash, and can you send me a copy of the invoice because the insurer's going to replace it.
Yeah.
So it is accepted by all the insurers. So that is the acid test, really.
And the final thing as well is, people talking about safety. But I mean, I've said it in a previous video, the Multimac is now R129 compliant.
It is.
Isn't it? And there's, there's lots of other seats that have recently disappeared, from...
Because they weren't. Well, yes, indeed, it is different from every other child seat, and it has had to be specially designed because a normal child seat is for a normal range. So you might have a child from 0 to 15 months or 15 months to 3 years or 3 to 6 or so, whatever. It's got to work. With a Multimac, you could have one newborn in it weighing 5 kilos, or you can have 4 12-year-olds weighing 150 kilos, and it's got to work on both those scenarios. And the only way it can work is by having clever energy absorbing bits in it. So in the same way as if you drove this car into that tree, you wouldn't get a shock, the car would crumple up to protect you. And the Multimac's designed to do exactly the same thing. So we got fantastic crash test results. And when we first started, we were thinking, we're a minnow in this, we should perhaps have a collaboration. And we spoke to a few other existing child seat manufacturers and showed them our crash test results, and they said, we don't believe it. They were that good.
Yeah,
so they really are. It is fantastic.
Thank you again, Kevin, for making this. I've got some very exciting stuff planned with this car, and it just would not be possible for me with my 4 children were it not for the fact that you made this.
Well, the reason I made it
seat.
then is because I had a 4th child, so there we are.
Yes, you did. So no, thank you so much, Kevin. I really
pleasure.
appreciate it. Thank you. Right, so before we try all 4 children in the back, get my wife on the passenger seat and go out for a drive as a family of 6 in my Dadcars, I've got a few other very quick family modifications to make to this car. And the first parents of toddlers will agree it's essential that you can connect your phone to the car and play music, because if your toddler wants to listen to 5 Little Monkeys, you need to be able to do that in certain situations. But I haven't yet decided which Apple CarPlay solution I want to fit to this car. Funnily enough, a company who supplies those, massive Tesla touchscreens that replace your analog climate controls and everything as well. They also do the digital dash replacement, getting rid of the analog ones. They reached out to me and said, look, we'd like to send you these for free if you talk about them in a video. And I replied to them saying, you couldn't even pay me to replace my analog climate control buttons and my analog dials on my dash. Look, I know lots of people love them, and if you love it, that's all that matters. But just personally for me, I'm never going to do it. So while I'm still waiting to find which one I'm going for, I picked up this really cheap from Amazon. It cost me, I think, 12 or 13 quid. And basically what it is a little USB and headphone jack device. And handily in these Granturismos, in the glove box there, you've got a USB and headphone jack right next to each other. And it does the job, it works. I mean, it's pretty basic. You can't use like the skip track buttons on your steering wheel or anything like that. But for the time being, that's going to tie me over. I'll put a link to it in the description below. As I said, it's only like 12, 13 quid. I also got this off of Amazon. This for the kids, which I will, when we get them in the car, I'm going to show them this. They're going to love it. But the final essential family car modification I'm going to be fitting to this car is the Nextbase IQ. This is their all singing, all dancing, creme de la creme dash cam. We've already got the Nextbase Pico, which is their sub £100 dash cam in my wife's L405 Range Rover. It does a fantastic job. It's really, really good. Really easy to install as well. This though is like the Nextbase Turbo S with all options ticked. It's got all sorts on it. You know, super high definition, internal view, external view, loads of smart features and stuff on it as well. So let's quickly get this fitted to the Daddarati. Right girls, should we get you in? What do you think of the seats, girls?
I love the seats, it's so cool.
Right, so we get you in then, girls.
So nice. This is amazing, Daddy. I am Daddy.
Nice and tight.
I am banana.
This is typical, isn't it? As soon as we're about to take it out for the first drive, it starts raining. Oh. But you girls all fit in there perfectly at the moment, don't you? Yes. But you know, do you know what? I'm going to speak to my friend Ash over at Exotic and Supercar and see if we can move that wiring harness so that it goes over either side of the transmission tunnel as opposed to on top, and then that'll give us an extra 1.5 inches of head height. Because although it fits you right now, in a year's time you're all going to be taller, aren't you?
3, 2, 1, go!
This is a loud car, isn't it? That camera is right in front of your face, isn't it? It's never normally a problem because I never have people on the front seat normally when I film, but I'm going to have to... Yeah, well, we're only going for a quick drive, so it won't be an issue.
Can we have the surprise yet?
Do you want to see the surprise, girls?
Yes!
Right, Mummy, do you want to grab it? It's down there. This, again, was just something that I bought cheap from Amazon. I'll put a link in the description below. And obviously, just like whenever you have, free passengers in the back of most cars, rear visibility is now very obstructed as well. But I spent my whole life driving vans, and when I do eventually figure out what Apple CarPlay solution I wanted to install a reverse camera as well.
Thank you, Dada!
Do you like it?
Yeah, it's the best thing ever!
Girls, what do you think? Is it safe to say that we've now got the coolest dad car in the world?
Yes!
I think so.
Now you've given him the fidget toy.
Yeah. Did you see what I did there? Right, so I've literally fitted that dash cam. Took me like 5 minutes, but I've just tucked the cable out the way, and I'll do a better job of it later on. I mean, look, the wonderful thing is that, look, it's got a microphone, it's got the internal view as well. When you are just driving around in your car with your children, occasionally they just come out with something really lovely, and then you're telling your other half about it in the evenings. But if you've got a dash cam like this, you can actually just go onto the app, and you could actually save that little clip and keep it as a memento. But if you're watching this and your family cars do not currently have dash cams, honestly, Nextbase are so wonderful. I love their stuff. And yeah, look, they've given me these cameras for free to promote in my channel, but they've not given me any direction whatsoever. They said, look, just fit them in your cars, talk about them however you want. They haven't even asked to see this video before it goes out. So Nextbase are awesome. And if you use promo code Dadcars, you can save 15% off the entire Nextbase range. So honestly, don't put it off any longer. Click the link in the description below, use my promo code, and get a dash cam for your family car. How are you getting on with your Pico in the Range Rover? Enjoying just having it there? It's no biggie, is it?
I don't really notice it. It's quite out of the way, isn't it?
Yeah.
Tiny as well. It's smaller than that one.
Yeah, this is the all singing, all dancing one.
Oh, I didn't get that in my car then.
No, but look, I'm just playing around with both of them, and then I'll figure out which car I want which dash cam to be in. You had it though, didn't you? In was it like your first year of driving where you had an incident? Basically, it wasn't your fault, but the other person sort of lied and said, "Oh yeah, no, it was your fault," and it ended up being like, they sorted out their side of insurance. You had to claim on your own insurance, even though it was their fault.
Yeah.
But if you had a dash cam in that instance, you'd have the evidence there so that it could have been completely claimed on theirs. So honestly, it's so worth doing. Oh my God, this is amazing. I can't believe I've got all of you in the car. This is honestly, it's incredible. As subscribers know, I'm a huge fan of super GTs. You know, Aston Martins. I want to get a Rapide S one day, and my dream car, ultimate dream car, obviously is the Ferrari FF. But I could not do this, get my family of 6 in an Aston Martin or a Ferrari FF because transmission tunnels are too pronounced. And that is what makes these Maseratis so special. Also, the Granturismos are so obtainable. You know, you can buy a nice Granturismo S in the teens today. These cars are just exceptional, honestly they are. God, what miserable weather. Oh look, girls, there's a GR Yaris over there. Sweetie, me and you did one of those, didn't we, on the channel? Do you know you can get one of these most compact 4-cross Multimacs in the back of a GR Yaris as well? Which reminds me, I need to say again a massive thank you to Kevin, the creator of the Multimac. Honestly, father of 4, who just refused to accept the fact that, you know, in the back of G-Wagons and Range Rovers and things like that, you can get free, huge, heavyweight boxers in the back, but you can't get free conventional child seats easily in the back, and let alone 4. And yeah, like he said earlier on, he spent £750,000 getting the Multimac through development and getting it so that it's all legal and safe for families like me to use right now. So honestly, a huge thank you to Kevin. And if you're thinking about, oh look, maybe, you know, a 3-across in the back of our car or a 4-across in the back of our car, honestly, send them an email. It's a family-run business. They absolutely love what they do, and they'll be really excited to get an email from some of my subscribers who are thinking about potentially, you know, getting a Multimac for the back of their car. They love a challenge. So yeah, fire Kevin and Minty an email, honestly. We're going to France, aren't we, in the summer?
That's the plan, yeah, we just need to secure a place.
Yeah, so we're doing a family road trip with 4 kids to France, and we're going to film a video with it. And the plan was to take the Range Rover, which has obviously got a 4-cross in the back, the largest size 4-cross.
No, that's still the plan at the moment.
I know that it would be easier in the Range Rover.
Did you see how much stuff we had to put in the Range Rover just to go somewhere in this country?
Yeah, I know. Yeah, we did have to pack out the boot fully. Yeah, but
the
look,
boot's full with just their coats today.
Okay, but I can figure something out. Here's the thing, right? All of the things in life that are the most memorable and the most exciting and that you look back on with like the fondest memories, they're not the easiest things to do, are they? Sure, we could take the Range Rover to road trip to France, but you'd always remember going in the Dadcars, wouldn't you? So would you be up for it? If I can figure out a way, if I can get like a roof box on this or something, and if we can pack really light, come on, that would be so much more fun, wouldn't it?
Have you got a 4-wheel drive or 2-wheel drive?
It's 2-wheel drive, and that's why Daddy is driving around like a granny. It's rear-wheel drive, Sweetie. Mummy's Range Rover is 4-wheel drive though. If we do take this to France though, it'll be in the summer, so the weather will be lovely. On a scale of 1 to 10, what's the legroom like in the back of Mummy's Range Rover?
It's really good.
What would you say the legroom's like in the back of this?
In the middle.
Yeah? It's still all right though, yeah?
But it could be worse.
Now, obviously, most of the family miles will continue to be done in the Range Rover, which has got, you know, the largest width 4-cross Multimac in the back. You know, it just makes sense. But now we can just use this. You'll be able to drive this as well.
Yeah.
Because you've driven it before.
Yeah.
It's a lot easier than the Grand
it's really
Sport
easy
to drive, isn't it? This 6-speed ZF is just silky smooth, and when it's not in sport, it's actually really, really smooth and approachable. There's nothing snappy about it at all, is there? But let us know in the comments below, what other family car modifications do you think I should make to this Dadarati? Because I want to keep adding to it and making it, you know, even more of the ultimate dad car. So yeah, any other ideas you've got, let us know in the comments below. God, this weather is horrible.
It's getting worse.
Girls, do you think we should get Mummy's Multimac in the back of the Range Rover retrimmed in matching ivory leather?
Yeah, definitely.
Do you think that would look really cool? But do you think people will think we're crazy for having an ivory leather child seat?
Yeah.
Yeah. But it'd be fun though, won't it?
I'm a angel.
Girls, I want to get an exhaust switch as well. so that you can, at a touch of a button, have it so that it's always loud. It's quite quiet at the moment, isn't it? Because it's below 3,000 RPM. But if you drop it down, above 3,000, the flap opens. But I'd like to be able to have it so that you can just switch it completely open or completely closed. Did you like the surprise?
How much money was it?
It wasn't that expensive.
What was it? How much?
I think it was under £10. It was just an Amazon. Yeah.
4 packets. Fidget, that's amazing.
Yeah. The other good thing as well, Mummy, is that if they do drop something,
You can easily grab it.
you can easily grab it.
Yeah.
Can't you? You can get to the footwell from there, can't you?
Oh, I can get a bit of my car.
Can you? What? No, you can't. Not about leaning out of your seatbelt, is this it? Thank you all so much for watching. Honestly, if ever there's a video that I would appreciate you sharing, it's this one. Honestly, I hope that lots of people enjoy this Dadcars series. I want to keep it forever and just keep making it more and more awesome, more of the ultimate family car, the ultimate dad car. So yeah, in the meantime, check out one of these other videos, like, comment, share, please, and I'll see you on the next one. Bye-bye.